If you're planning a trip to Japan, the one thing that you absolutely need to have on your pre-travel checklist is a SIM card or SIM card alternative. After all, you will need to, in the very minimum, be able to use Google Maps and Google Translate to get around. There are plenty of options out there that depend on your data requirements, how long you're staying for, your budget constraints, or if you're looking to share your mobile data because you're traveling with a group of friends or with your family. And that's why in today's video, I'm going to be covering all the options that you have on your hands, from physical SIM cards, eSIM options, to mobile data hotspot devices. We have much to cover, and so without further ado, let's get into it, shall we? And before we even start looking at any of the mobile data options, it's probably pertinent for you to make sure that your phone is not locked into your home provider. Because if it is, then your only real options would be to turn on roaming or to get a mobile data hotspot device. And the best and most certain way to know for sure would be for you to check with your provider prior to your trip. Assuming that your phone is unlocked, then the most straightforward option would be for you to pick up a SIM card at either the Narita or Haneda Airport arrivals. And there are a few providers that do this, as you can see here. For Narita, you will be able to find them at the airport counters, the BIC camera store that is located on the 4th floor of Terminal 2, or at the 7-Eleven and Lawson convenience stores located at all terminals and are open 24/7. For Haneda, you will quite similarly find them at the airport counters or at the JTB meeting counter. I would say that all these network providers are fairly comparable in terms of coverage, but the pricing can differ from provider to provider. But in general, here are the average pricings that you can expect depending on your data requirements. If the physical SIM card is indeed the route that you plan to go down though, I would highly recommend you pre-book your SIM card and pick it up upon arrival in Japan. Apart from the obvious convenience, it also generally works out to be cheaper, as the SIM cards that are ready for purchase at the airport are marked up to tourist prices. As you can see here, providers like Sakura Mobile or Ninja Wi-Fi will let you choose your data plan in advance, pay online, and pick up upon arrival. The prices again can differ from provider to provider, but on average, this is what you can expect. You would then pick up the SIM card upon arrival at the assigned pickup points, which for most providers would be the Narita Airport Post Office at Terminals 1 and 2, or the Haneda Airport Post Office Terminal 1. Also, do note that most international flights would arrive at Terminals 1 and 2 for Narita Airport, and so if you're on a flight that arrives at Terminal 3, you will need to head on over to one of the other terminals to pick up your SIM card. One thing that is worthwhile noting about these SIM card pickup points or sales points is that they are not all open 24/7, and so if your flight does happen to arrive outside of these opening hours, then your options are limited to either the convenience stores or one of these SIM card vending machines, which you will find on the first floor of the central building at Terminals 1, 2, and 3 of Narita Airport, or at the international terminal arrivals on the 2nd floor of Haneda Airport. And whilst these vending machines sound like a fantastic option on paper, it is worthwhile noting some of the downsides, which include the lack of customer support in case something goes wrong, the fact that they only accept cash, and as you can see here, the mobile plan's availability is also fairly limited. By the way, I am aware that there are other international airports in other cities of Japan as well. However, this video would simply be too long if I started talking about the purchasing options in those cities as well. Moreover, most of you will most probably start your Japan trip in Tokyo. And so in the best interest of your time and mine, I'm going to place the details for those cities in the description box. But if all this physical SIM card talk is starting to make you feel like, then this next option is for you. By the way, hi guys, I'm Steve from the Fat Life Project. Welcome back to my channel. If you're a regular subscriber, hello there. I hope you've been finding value in this video so far. And if you're new to the channel, why, hello there. Welcome to my channel that is full of travel guides just like the one that you're watching now, that helps you travel to cities around the world like a seasoned pro. And so if traveling is your vibe, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Alright, with that all out of the way, let's get straight back into it. I am personally someone who likes to hit the ground running when I'm on vacations. I mean, the last thing I want is to spend time lurking around the airport looking for a SIM card, which is why my recommended mobile data option is always going to be eSIMs. For those who don't know, eSIM is essentially a virtual SIM card slot that allows your phone to take on an additional network at the same time, so that you do not have to purchase an additional physical SIM card. Most phones these days come with an eSIM slot. To check if your phone is eSIM compatible, simply check if your phone has as an eID, which is generally under the About section in your phone settings. But this can differ from phone to phone, so again, the best and easiest way to know for sure would be to check with your data provider. The reason why this is again and again my preferred mobile data option when it comes to traveling to Japan and really anywhere else is the simplicity. I can purchase and activate it before my flight to Japan, and once I've landed, all I need to do is to simply turn on the additional data network and I'm good to go. Another advantage of this eSIM option is that it allows me to keep my home phone number in my phone to continue receiving calls and SMSs. I mean, I know that most calls are taken on things like WhatsApp these days, but it's still important to have your home phone number in your phone in case you need to receive important information SMSs from your banks, for example, or OTP codes. Now, there are a few eSIM options out there, but I know you guys watch my videos for my honest recommendations. And so in this next section, I am only going to talk about the eSIM providers that I have actually personally used and was happy with. Know that you will have stable and reliable mobile data connection no matter which provider you end up choosing. Tested by someone who has been to Japan for 6 times in the last 2 years. Which one you get ultimately depends on what's important to you. That said, in full transparency, SimLocal did reach out and offered to sponsor this part of the video, and I immediately said yes, as I have used their eSIMs before, I know it's good, and also as someone who's always looking out for travel deals, all I will say is that if you don't believe me, believe the numbers. In this next section, you're gonna see how SimLocal is gonna be the best value eSIM mobile data option you're gonna have if you're traveling to Japan. Let's say, for example, you only plan to be in Japan for a short period of time. For argument's sake, let's define short period of time as being under 7 days, and do not think you'll be using a lot of data. Then on paper, Airalo will actually be your best option as it offers a 1 gigabyte of data for just $7.50. But I can say from personal experience that you will blow through that 1 gigabyte like that. Yes, I understand on paper it is cheaper, but if you go with that, you're gonna find yourself topping up again and again during your trip. And when you add up all the top-up expenses at the end of your trip, you're gonna realize that you would have been better off going with a bigger data allowance or unlimited data to begin with. I've personally made this mistake before, which is why never again. And my personal preference is always for the unlimited data option. And so based on that reasoning, the cheapest option for you would actually be SimLocal, which offers unlimited data plans from just $19.50 for 4 days or $28.50 for 7 days. But what if I'm gonna be there for longer than 7 days, Steve? Not to worry, I got you. For the sake of this comparison, let's classify longer stays as being anything up to 14 or 15 days. As you can see here, Airalo again on paper offers the cheapest option, giving you 2 gigabytes of data at just $10.50 that is valid for 15 days. And you are again going to be blowing through that 2 gigabytes of data like that. And so if you want to avoid all those additional topping up charges, the actual cheapest option, as you can see here, would be SimLocal, that offers you unlimited data for up to 15 days at just $58.50 Aussie. And so based on this reasoning and numbers that I've presented, I am sure you can quite easily see why I would always recommend SimLocal for anyone who's looking for an eSIM option when they're traveling to Japan. But maybe there's a middle ground. Perhaps you're already thinking, Steve, I do not want to spend $58.50 on unlimited data. I don't even need unlimited data. I just need something that's a little bit more than 2 gigabytes. Well, then I would say for shorter periods of stay, your best choice will still be these options from SimLocal. And if you're looking to stay for anything longer than 7 days, then your best options would be either SimLocal or Airalo. And I can get you 5% off your first SimLocal purchase. Simply use the code here, also in my description box when making your purchase, and thank me later. But Steve, what if I'm traveling with my friends or family and want to share mobile data? Technically, you can do this using the mobile hotspot function on your phone. But if you want a slightly more reliable option, I would recommend going for one of these mobile data hotspot devices. But like the physical SIM cards, you will need to pick this up upon arrival and also return them at the airport when departing Japan. Additionally, also note that you will need to make sure that these devices are always charged. Of course, there are other things to consider apart from mobile data options when you're traveling to to a country for the first time, which is why I have previously done a first timers travel guide to Japan video containing all the mistakes that I learned before and during my first trip to Japan. I'm gonna link that video at the end of this video so that you can watch that next. Highly recommend you do that, by the way, so that you don't make the same mistakes that I did when I went there for the first time. I do hope that you found value in today's video, and if you did, don't forget to like, comment, subscribe, share, all the good things that you know are gonna appease those holy YouTube algorithm gods, but much more importantly, it's just gonna make my day as a content creator. Specifically, if you do have a comment or feedback for me, do drop me a comment in the comment section, as I love hearing from the people who take time to watch my videos. And if you got to this point of the video, thank you so much for watching. I know I say this every single week, but that's because I really do genuinely mean it. Special shout out for those who have been watching since my Taipei content through to monetization and now to my first paid partnership. Thank you so much. My name is Steve, and wherever or whenever this finds you, I do hope that you have a fantastic day ahead, or that you've already had a good day. As always, I will see you real soon in the next video. Ciao!